Earlier with Michael Mailing, Deputy Director of MIT Center for Energy and Environmental Policy Research.
Now, at the same time, US President-elect Donald Trump has called climate change a hoax, and he said he would rip up the Paris deal and halt any US taxpayer funds for the UN global warming programs. Now, how likely will Trump be to make good on his words, and what could be the consequences if he does?
Well, as you just said, or as you just quoted John Kerry saying, it is very hard to say at this point. There's certainly a lot of uncertainty. I get the sense from listening to comments out of the transition team and what we're hearing about appointments, etc., that will not be the top priority initially. I think immigration, healthcare, tax reform, those are probably the more immediate priorities. But there is a risk that doing something about the Paris Agreement could be seen as an easy symbolic victory towards some of the more extreme parts of his electorate, of his base. And unfortunately, it would be procedurally not very difficult to do. Many people, of course, have suggested that withdrawing from the Paris Agreement would take, 1 year plus 3 years, so it would take almost until the end of his being in office for this first period. But unfortunately, he can also withdraw from the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, if you like, the Mother Agreement. That would only take 1 year, and if he does that, he's automatically also withdrawing from the Paris Agreement. This would not require a supermajority of the Senate. It's something he can do from the administration. And if that happens, the United States will be the only nation, aside from North Korea, that would not be a party to that important convention.
Now, we know that there's nothing enforcing countries to join in this agreement, but are there contingency plans in place for if the United States does pull out? Are there other procedures that the remaining people within the deal can do? What is the state of affairs there?
It's a good question. I think that's a question that many governments are asking themselves right now. As you rightly pointed out, international law does not offer a mechanism, some kind of sanction or other procedure by which it could force the United States to participate. All of this has to be entered voluntarily by each and every nation. So I think, the contingency plan will really be for the rest of the international community to continue forging forward with climate action, and to hope that in doing so, not only, do they reap economic and other benefits by switching to cleaner economies, by having green jobs, green growth, etc., but that ultimately these forces will also make the U.S. realize that politics aside, this is an economic opportunity they're missing, and that market forces, by their own, without the policies, will actually help also continue the transition in the United States.
That was Michael Mailing, Deputy Director, MIT Center for Energy and Environmental Policy Research, speaking with CRI's Lincoln Vander Westhuizen. New figures suggest China's attracted increasing amounts of foreign money so far this year, particularly in the high-tech and service sectors. CRI's Guo Yan has more.
The latest stats show foreign direct investment is up 4.2% year-on-year, hitting close to $98 billion through the first 10 months. FDI in the service sector, which accounts for more than 70% of all investment, has increased 9% so far this year. Tang Wenhong, head of the Commerce Ministry's Foreign Investment Division, says high-tech services in particular are showing a lot of interest among foreign investors.
FDI in high-tech services has skyrocketed 90.2% from a year earlier to reach 79.2 billion yuan. Information technology service investment is up 230%. Research and development investment is up 45%. Foreign money flowing into science and technology is up 60% compared to the same period last year. High-tech manufacturing has recorded growth of 92%. The medical instrument manufacturing industry has recorded growth of 88%.
The same figures show there are now over 600 companies in China with investments worth over $100 million. Tang Wenhong says the US and EU are still the biggest investors in China.
Investments from the United States and European countries continue to grow, which is consistent with the results of the service on business confidence we've conducted with the business community.